Howdy, folks. Season 1, Episode 6 of Scrolling with Charlie. As you can see, we got a super duper full panel. And I remembered to mute YouTube, so we're good. It's frozen on my end, so I really hope I'm showing up. And I'd like to thank Donna Presley, Paul Corliss, and Russ Meadows. Russ Clarity could not be with us tonight. Family, I don't want to say issues, that sounds like drama. Private family thing he has to be involved with. Tonight's topics, if time allows, and depends on whether or not we get questions or comments in the YouTube watch page. Yeah, I do that every time. Okay, we're good. The topics are different materials that you can scroll through. These are all based on suggestions from a past show that I promised I would do after I tried the flat blade. We remember that one, don't we? Different woods, benefits and drawbacks, or your favorite woods, this and that. And if time allows, we can go into locating copyright-free pictures to work from if you design your own patterns, and places to buy patterns, and that's if I can remember them all. But thank God I got some folks here with me that can help with that if any of them think of any. I love my attention span. Oh, a squirrel. Okay, so I'm just gonna go down the line. This could take quite a while, but I'm just gonna start with Donna Presley. Donna, tell everybody where you're from and all that other jazz.
Donna Presley from Alabama. Well, no, actually from Texas, but in Alabama. I have Facebook page, Twitter, webpage. All of it's under Donna's Wooden Art. Scrolling for several years and doing other things.
And she knows how to use a flat blade.
Yes, I do.
And Donna came by and saw me for, 30 minutes to an hour or something like that. Had her brother with her. It was a good little visit. I appreciate that, Donna. That was fun. I wish we could have had more time, but life happens. Right. Thank you very much, ma'am. I'm going to move on over to Mr. Paul Corliss.
Hey, everybody. Paul Corliss. I'm in Michigan, and I have a YouTube channel, Paul's Messy Workshop, and I also have laryngitis, so hopefully my voice will hold out tonight. And thanks for having me on, Charlie.
You're welcome. Just kidding.
I've made funny noises all day.
I did too, but my wife kicks me out of the house. But we won't go into that. Thank you, Paul. Mr. Russ Meadows, my backup co-host. He's my co-host. And all our best to Russ Clarity. Go ahead, Mr. Russ Meadows. Russian Nails with a Z.
Thank you. Now I don't have to say that part. I appreciate that. Y'all can find me on Facebook. Just a little tinge of YouTube under that name, Rusty Nails with a Z Wood Shop.
Okay, keep talking because I got a lot of cigarettes.
Oh, come on. I didn't go long enough for you.
I didn't time it right. Okay, thank you, Russ. Now, if I'd have done more research preparation for the show, I could have told you which blades work best, but I'm pretty sure there's enough people in the chat area if none of us know which blades work best for which materials. Because I know one thing Steve Good recently has been talking about is cutting coins. And am I correct in assuming that you would use a jeweler's blade or a diamond blade or whatever you call it? Does anybody? I
think that's what he showed on his show, was using a jeweler's blade because it was a little harder and it held up better for cutting coins, where a regular woodworking blade is too soft.
Yeah, I tried a spiral blade and that was a hoot. That was a long time ago. I need to. Of course, y'all saw me trying to use a flat blade. I fear change because I don't like feeling new again. Well, not when it comes to learning habits. Anyway. So coins, I'm not sure how I want to do this. I'm not sure. I just want to go through a list of what can be cut. But, that is what it is when you're talking about. I know Corian can be cut. Have any of y'all ever tried cutting corian, and if so, what kind of blade did you use?
I have not, but I do know that I've heard people say that they use the polar blades.
Okay, for those that don't know, including me, what exactly is a polar blade?
That's Flying Dutchman has them on Mike's
Mike's Workshop.
Yeah, that page. That's where I've seen them, and I've seen that people use those for that particularly.
Now, does polar? I'm guessing
It's a
by
different-
the name. Yeah, I'm guessing. I'm totally guessing here. I would imagine polar meant that there's equal teeth. Like one half has teeth faced in one direction, one half has the other. Don't quote me on that. I'm totally guessing. If you are interested, I'm not sponsored by them. I'm just throwing it out there. If you're interested in Flying Dutchman blades, there's two places you can get them. It's mikesworkshop.com and woodenteddybear.com. They are a scroll saw pattern catalog for the most part. I don't know where to tell you to get Olsen or Pegasus because I haven't been paying attention to my own show. I know Steve Good. I keep bringing up Steve Good because he's the most active channel that I watch. I don't, it's just it's not because I like him more than other people. I just watch. But he's also done very thin sheet metal like copper or aluminum, and there are certain blades you can use with that. Does anybody happen to know that?
I don't
really.
I
don't either.
Might know.
That's what I meant by the fact that I didn't do enough research before the show because my days stay busy on honeydew lists and.
The only thing I've tried, I haven't tried metal. I've seen other people do it where they make a point of you have to put the thin metal between two pieces of wood to get a good cut to keep it from bending the metal. But I have tried corian with just plain old blades, and it dulls the blade reasonably fast, but it does cut nice. I've used corian on the lathe to make pens and just use plain old high-speed steel turning tools, and I've had pretty good luck. I've never really gone out of my way to buy really good blades, and I guess I should, because it would probably improve my scrolling quite a bit.
Yeah, and what constitutes really good blades differs with each person. I think there's, like I said, Pagan, Olsen, and what you call it,
Flying Dutchman.
Thank God they're not a sponsor. They'd be mad at me. Yeah, Flying Dutchman. Flying Dutchman is my go-to. I'm one of these people. It's just like a radio station. If I like a radio station, I feel like I'm cheating on them if I go to another station. So I feel like I'd be cheating on Flying Dutchman if I try another blade. But I'm not opposed to it if somebody sends me a batch of them. Not that they have to. Anyway, aside from corian coins and thin metal, I don't know of any other. Well, maybe somebody's tried to cut bone. Is
Plexiglass.
Plexiglass. That's another one, and I think that has something to do with it. That has something to do.
I was at a scrolling show one time for the Winfield collection that they put on, and a guy had cut stuff out of alabaster, and he said he went through a whole lot of blades, but that it cut nice because it's like a soft stone, and he said it really cut nice, and it was a beautiful piece, but that's a lot of money for blades.
Yeah. I know there's a secret having to do with the speed of the saw, packing tape for lubrication, as well as the type of blade. Donna, do you know those right offhand when it comes to plexiglass?
When I did the plexiglass or acrylic, whichever one they want to call it, the blades I use, of course, is Flying Dutchman. It's not good to do the reverse, and you got to go slow because otherwise it's going to melt it back in. And when you do the reverse, and bring it back up into it, and it's basically not cut behind you, behind the blade.
Okay, thank you. And I apologize to the viewers that I didn't do more research before the show. That's all on me. But yes, I tried. I tried cutting my name out of plexiglass. It was, I think, a half-inch thick, and it looked cool when I finally got done. But I had to go through it 3 times before I could because it was melting back together. I didn't know the particulars of what to do to avoid that. But there again, I went through a few times, and finally it cut through enough of the melted sawdust, and you can brush it off basically. But what's so cool about using plexiglass, or like Donna said, possibly called acrylic, is that unless there is a way, I think, to clear up the edges transparent. Well, I think heat, like a torch or something. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But I liked the way it looked when I cut my name out of plexiglass, and it was crystal clear looking through it, but you could see the edges that looked like an optical illusion almost. It was kind of neat. So if you can get a hold of clear acrylic, transparent, whatever, I urge you to try it. I really should have done research, but I didn't.
Hey, Charles?
Yes, sir.
Rick Hutchinson said there's two types of plexiglass. One's cast and one's extruded.
Yeah.
Expensive type cuts real fine. The others are piece of crap.
Okay. Which kind is it? Which kind is it?
I'm thinking that the cast is the better one.
Okay, now I don't know which type the home centers like Home Depot or Lowe's sell, but probably the crappy kind, but I could be wrong.
I've got some of that. I have not cut it yet. When I do, I'll let you know.
And an idea for people that may want to try cutting plexiglass, if you want it to look really shiny but still color the back side. I think you would have to paint in reverse order for it to look like if you faded colors. I just forget I said that because I'm not sure how to finish that sentence because that's how I roll. Yes, I got my bell today. Okay. I have not tried Corian. I've got little bitty pieces of Corian, but I haven't tried it. But I know I tried coin cutting with a spiral, and it's because that's all they use, and that was laughable. And that coin gets really hot. That's probably the case with any blade, because that's why they get those holders, and it's a lot easier to hold. But unless there's any other materials anybody on the panel or in the comment section or the YouTube chat page can think of, I think we can move on to different kinds of woods.
Somebody in the chat mentioned that you can cut vinyl records.
Yes.
Oh,
I saw that in a magazine.
Gary Griffiths did that.
Yeah, I saw that in a magazine not too long ago, and I can't remember whether it was Scroll Saw magazine or what magazine it was, but using a vinyl record to cut out a design.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't think of that. And I think that's another thing where you gotta be mindful of the blade and or the speed, because it will melt that together, but not as bad as plexiglass, but it'll make it easier to deburr, for lack of a better word.
Also, the CD-ROM cases along the same lines.
Yeah, and Steve Good recently, you know how on his blog every now and then he will mention a guest video. He guest videoed one guy that he had done a drawer system for catching dust, and the only reason I'm bringing that up is because I went looking elsewhere on that guy's channel, and he was cutting a record, and I don't have it memorized, so I don't know the guy's name or what his particulars were, but I can't believe I didn't think of records, because I've yet to try that. I have a bunch of records, and not me personally. I don't sing that good. Stop trying to be funny and just do the show, Charlie. Okay, but yeah, records is another one. You can paper. Believe it or not, most people don't know this, but if you got like an inch thick stack of paper, you can scroll through it. But believe it or not, paper can very much dull your blade. Not a lot of people know that.
I know. I've seen where they take like these kind of pads and cut that. I think they bind them with packing tape, and then they cut a design in them on the scroll saw, like an initial or something like that. And then all you lose is the top sheet, because when you take it off, but you end up with a nice monogram on it. Yeah,
now with the stack of paper, golly Moses, that's me cussing G-rated. On post-it notes, a stack of paper, vinyl records, sheet metal. In my opinion, it's a good idea to sandwich them between two thin pieces of wood, because it just stabilizes everything. Okay, so we've talked about corian, metal, coins, records, paper, veneer. Technically, I mean, I don't know if that's considered a wood, but you could stack a whole bunch of real thin veneers and try that.
How about Formica? You ever try that?
Formica, that stuff, I've tried it, but believe it or not, I've tried it. Well, yeah, I've tried it with a scroll saw blade, but it seems kind of hard.
Does it?
It's a cheaper backer than using wood. I mean, wood is cheap, but I don't like using up wood that I could be using for a project. So that's why I would prefer Formica. But yeah, Formica's pretty hard as well. But I think that's just choose your blade of preference and be patient with it. But I'm going blank on any other. Somebody, that reminds me, the other day somebody asked me, "What is that dot on your wall?" That's a nail head. I don't even know why it's there, but I just noticed it while I was talking because I'm very attentive. Is anybody in the outside chat talking about any other materials?
Somebody said leather.
Leather. That's a dang good idea. I would also recommend sandwiching that between two pieces of wood because it will flex. But leather, that would look very cool in the right setting. Thank y'all very much. What else?
Hey, Rush, you're muted.
Yeah, I am now.
I saw your lips moving, but no sound was coming out.
It's like a Japanese movie. So Rick Hutchison said that Formica makes a good thing to cut on for like tracing a pattern. And I think it was Gary Griffith said to be careful because it's fragile.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very fibrous if it gets too brittle. Now, is Rick Hutchison referring to like templates for like tracing for mass production, so to speak, lack of a better way of putting it, or just patterns in general?
He didn't say. He just said patterns in general.
Oh, another thing would be like moose antler. I've seen people scroll through that.
Rick mentioned deer antler as well.
Yeah, deer antler is a little narrower, but I wish I had a moose antler to try, but that would be a hoot trying to, because it's not going to be completely flat, and that's a benefit to spirals. Although I know a lot of people use straight blades, but I would love to try. And I know there's a unique smell when you're cutting through bone, which I would imagine that's what antlers are considered. That or like fingernail material. I don't remember which. I think it's bone, but anyway, it smells like Fritos. If you've ever smelled Frito potato chips or Frito corn chips or whatever, that's kind of what the smell reminds me of when you're cutting through. I think it can be toxic, so it doesn't hurt to wear mask up. And I don't wear a mask near as often as I should. Okay, I'm not even going to try to test my two brain cells trying to go through the list, but we just went through. But yes, I've seen moose antlers done. Well, I don't think there is anything else. There's got to be, because I didn't think of records when somebody else did.
Katie Dodson was asking if anyone has ever tried floor tiles, like the Armstrong vinyl tiles.
I haven't tried
the old stuff.
I haven't tried the stick down kind of tile or whatever.
Yeah.
Or any kind of tile, but I have tried actual flooring. But believe it or not, I've only tried that because I was doing actual flooring and wanted it to form fit to where it was going, like going around a door thingy. And that stuff is very hard. I would probably harder than Formica when it comes to what will dull a blade in no time, whether you're using a.
That's what Gary.
Yeah.
Gary Griffiths was saying the same thing, that hardwood flooring is really hard on your blades.
Oh yeah, and no matter what kind of blade. I mean, like even a compound miter saw blade, a bandsaw blade. My God, that stuff is hard. But it's doable. It just be prepared to use a lot of blades. The guy named Dan Early has been writing to me a lot on Facebook, showing me another very dedicated. I don't know if dedicated is the right word, but a woman that likes to write to me a lot, asking questions, which I have nothing against. If I can help, I'm glad to. Florence Leedy writes to me a lot with, because she's one of the people that doesn't assume anything. She'll ask just to make sure, what works best on this and that. and she's usually a pretty loyal watcher of the show. So thank you for that, Florence. And Joseph Poindexter, if I forget to, he will ask me, or do you have a show tonight, or blah, 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 blah. Appreciate you watching, Joseph. I saw you in the chat before the show started. And Pat H was over there, and I'm not as good as Russ because I don't have more than one monitor, so I can't look over and see who's in the chat. Yeah, so that's that. Now, God, the other topic was, now if y'all think of anything else, throw it in. We don't have to completely erase the topic that we've gone over. If somebody thinks of something. Now, God knows there is a litany of woods, plethora, whatever the word I'm looking for, woods. I believe these things I was doing when I tried the flat blade on, I believe that Spanish cedar. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. I believe it's Spanish cedar, but I go to eBay and I just looked up thin wood, and I do still have that piece that I tried on the show live, where I broke the dang A. But oh God, there's so many kinds of wood. I know one of the softest woods, and most people would probably say it's balsa wood. I haven't tried to scroll on that because it's so soft, but probably one of my favorite woods to work with because of the aroma and the look, especially the look, is aromatic cedar. That I'm not sure the technical name for it, but I call it aromatic cedar. Does anybody have?
I have not cut that myself, but I want to do it. I know people have said that it's very brittle, it's fragile.
Oh, it's very, very fragile.
And so I've got some things lined up that I'd like to try in that particular wood.
Yeah, what?
I'm leery about doing it.
Well, one thing that's good about aromatic cedar, even when it breaks, it doesn't break into a splintery mess. You can basically just literally fit it right back together and just throw glue in there. I mean, it depends on whether or not how honest you want to be with your customer. If you hide it well enough, by God, I didn't see nothing. But that's not me encouraging you to deceive your customers. But I mean, I love doing like the word welcome or somebody's name or anything in cedar because I just love the way aromatic cedar looks. I'm not talking like normal cedar, like a fence picket. There's different names for them. I'm just going blank. But the aromatic cedar, when it breaks in a very puzzle-like way to where you could just slap it right back together. But your splintery woods, I don't use oak a lot, so I know I don't like the way it splinters up top, so I don't know what it does when it breaks. But I think it's a relatively strong wood, but it's very fibrous wood. The most common portrait-style thin wood used for portraits or any scroll saw project is birch. I've always used birch ply, so I don't know what solid birch is like, so I'm not a good person to ask on that. I'm not a know-it-all, so everybody's welcome to throw their opinions and this and that, but I know Purple Heart's very hard. I know Ebony's very hard. Ironwood's very hard. But I'll shut up and let y'all throw in some wood types and how they reacted.
I like the way maple cuts.
Yeah, it's a relatively common one.
Yeah, I haven't cut that much plywood because it seemed like the adhesives in there are hard on blades, but maybe it's just my imagination.
They might be. I know that the wood I ended up with, and I probably said this on past shows, I don't have any of it in front of me. I ended up with a bunch of wood because an acquaintance of mine had a stroke and his wife gave me all the wood sheets he had left behind. When I run out of that, I'm screwed because that's going to cost money. But the it is like two veneers. One's a wooden veneer, one's like a glossy veneer. It's like cabinet shop.
Oh, okay.
Stuff, but it's got an MDF core. So I haven't. It's been a while since I've tried to cut through actual plywood where it's wood all the way through.
Well, again, I'm a bit on the cheap side. I guess it should be Paul's Cheap Workshop instead of Paul's Messy Workshop. But I get most of the Baltic birch I get at Michael's because they sell like 1 foot by 1 foot or 1 foot by 2 foot sheets of 1/4 inch and 3/8 and 1/2 inch, and it's not that expensive. And I'm not buying a whole sheet at once. In the long run, it probably costs me more, but I don't seem to get as much waste.
But I need to just start going that route. If I'd stop, and I know everybody's going to get this if they've seen any of my projects. If I'd stop trying to cut stuff the size of a kitchen table, then I'd probably be able to find wood. Because I don't know what it is. I think what I tried to tell myself was if I cut it bigger, I could charge more and get more money. But Charlie doesn't know crap about getting sales. But see, like I didn't have to make this one so big, but I wanted to, so I did. So, and that's supposed to be me. Whether or not it looks like me, I don't know. That was my older glasses and back when I had chin hair. Anyway, so yeah, Michael's that's and the average person. I'm guessing here, maybe I'm wrong, but I would imagine the average person does 8x10 if they're doing like something in a frameable size. But yeah, Michael's and Hobby Lobby, or I don't know what other chain stores there are. Some are specific to certain states. Menards, maybe. I know that's not
Menards. I love Menards. We have one near us, and they carry nice stuff. Their plywood seems to be better than Home Depot and Lowe's, and I really like Menards. That's probably one of my favorite stores.
I've never even been to one, and Woodcraft speaks for itself. But they're a little pricey, but it's usually worth it.
They are pricey, but they got a good selection.
Yeah, my experience when it comes to like 2 foot by 4 foot sheets of wood at Home Depot or Lowe's, all due respect to Home Depot and Lowe's, y'all's sheet goods suck.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, I've had pieces I'm trying to scroll through, and if you get too thin of a cut, it'll pop that top veneer off, and you see white where the glue is. I'm thinking, dude, really? I just wasted. I mean, it's not expensive. It's like $6-7 a sheet, maybe, or less. But it is the crappiest sheet goods I've ever picked up. And that's if you're doing scrolling. I'm not saying don't use them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gary Griffith out in the chat says he got all his Baltic birch from Michael's. But you have to watch from Michael's. It can be warped or bowed, and check it before buying. But he gets his from Michael's.
I've got some from Michael's as well, and I don't really like it as much.
Don't you?
No, I don't. I've cut the last couple of pieces that I've got of 1/4 inch. So what it is, it's just not right for me.
When you say not right, how do you mean that?
I don't like it. I don't like it as well as stuff you order from like Sloan's online or Okuch.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. There's 2 websites. Sorry to interrupt, Russ. I know there's more than 2 sources, but I know the ones I hear most about are Okuch. It's OCOOCH. And
Hardwoods, I think.
Yeah, OkuchHardwoods.com. I don't know if it's plural or singular. There's Sloan's Wood Shop, I believe. I could be wrong. There again, like a research. You've heard of, I believe there's 2 Steve Good talks about is Heritage Woods.
I've recently ordered from Heritage, and it was really nice looking wood. I got some walnut and some other things. I did the scroll saw pack.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. Is it Heritage Wood?
It was all good.
Is it singular or plural? Wood or woods?
I don't remember.
It's a pop quiz, Donna. Come on now.
No, I got page saved, so I just click on it.
Yeah, you just look up Heritage Woods and what you call it, Beartooth Woods, I believe is another one he goes with. Now when I buy, and I need to try those sites because I often find myself buying from eBay, looking for the cheapest price.
Yes.
There is a guy on eBay that does have good wood. I just can't remember his name right offhand.
I know that guy. His actual name, the guy I know, is Kim Oberlin, I believe is his name. But I think it's
Hunter 56.
Deer Hunter 56.
Deer Hunter. That's
several pieces, different types of wood from him. But if you want big sheets,
yeah.
Where's the 2x4, I think. It's Cherokee Woodworks. It has really good chosaw wood, and that's just the regular Baltic birch I get from them.
Yeah, and if y'all don't mind continuing to talk, I do have a box of some stuff I bought from Deer Hunter, whatever the number was, and I'm so sorry I don't know that, but I'll be right back and I'll show it to you.
Could you put that out there in the outside chat, Donna?
Sure.
Because they might want to know that, because I didn't know of that one either.
Yeah, the one for Deer Hunter, he has all different types where I've gotten poplar and Spanish cedar and what's some of the other ones? Red Heart. I mean, just all kinds.
Yeah, I remember
prices pretty good, are they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Supposedly it's pretty.
Never had a problem with it. Fast also. Cherokee. I think it's Cherokee Woodworks. That's just the bigger Baltic birch, but I've never got a bad one from him where it's got all the voids and all that like you'd get from Home Depot and stuff in the middle.
Right. That's plywood you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just the regular Baltic birch.
Yeah, I've got a Gary Griffiths was saying he has an exotic lumber place close to him, but the thinnest that they have is an inch thick. And I've got something similar to that here as well. And I don't have a bandsaw yet, so I usually plane all my stuff down.
Right.
A lot of wood by doing it that way.
Yeah.
It aggravates me to no end to have to do that, but that's life for me right now.
Yeah, with Deer Hunter,
Yeah.
I've gotten 16th inch thick, 1/4 inch, 8 inch, an 1/8 inch, half 3. I mean, he just has all kinds, and he deals in the thinner cuts.
Yeah, believe it or not, I believe they were the first people I approached, hoping to have a sponsor. They are a husband and wife team, but that didn't come to fruition. But anyway, I always go to them because they're quick. They send quality wood. Now, I was talking earlier about hardwoods, ironwood. I believe this is ironwood. I don't know if it's stained or aged or what the case is, but it's very, 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 very hard. I'll try to hold it in the light, but it's kind of hard to tell. But talked earlier about aromatic cedar. I believe I also got these from Kim Oberlin, which is Deer Hunter. What was the number after that? 59?
I think it's 57.
All right. But yeah, very thin wood. It's always quality. Now, you can't always blame the source if the wood cups or bows, because that's the nature of wood, so to speak. But this right here is a good example of how brittle aromatic cedar is. You know, sometimes it just splits, and that's not a downer on certain people. But I mean, the thing about aromatic cedar, you just get the most gorgeous grains and colors. I freaking love it. I can't get enough of it. I mean, look at that. Okay, but that's some of it. But I ordered from a couple different sources.
Okay, I just looked it up. It's Deer 56 Hunter.
Okay.
And Cherokee Wood Products.
Okay, Deer 56 Hunter.
And Cherokee Wood Products.
Okay, now I've never tried Cherokee Wood Products, but just for giggles, tell them Charles Deering sent you if you go to Deer 56 Hunter. Even though I couldn't remember his whole name, I remember his real name, but he goes by Deer 56 Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
But these are, I don't know how well you can tell because they're still wrapped, but there's a bunch of different thin pieces of walnut. I don't know if I bought that from Deer Hunter or not, because I bought a bunch last time. But you want to talk about a variety of woods. And Deer Hunter is, in my opinion, is the best. Deer 56 Hunter is the best source for multiple kinds of thin wood. And I don't know if it's some cut-offs from something else they do, or if that's all they do. But I got a big old box here. I'm trying to keep the flap down. I mean, and another thing I love about them, and I'm trying to keep the flaps out of the way because they keep trying to come back up. They label the wood, especially if you order a bunch, and I love that because if you're like me, I'm used to pine, and there's only certain woods I can identify by sight. Like
That
this one
helps.
here. Yeah, and he labels them there. That's Caribbean rosewood, and this may be like a little childish show and tell, but some people may want to see what the stuff looks like. But most of what's in this box in front of me is paper thin, and I love that because you can cut the crap out of them and back them. But that's so if y'all can bear with me showing you some thin woods real quick to show you what they look like. I know I have somewhat of a foggy look to because of the light reflection. I'm trying to show it just right. But that's Caribbean rosewood. As Paul was talking about earlier, that's maple. Very thin. They're all about the same thickness, so I won't show you that, but you'll notice they're not cut. They send them wrapped up, usually in newspaper, sometimes in saran wrap. Saran wrap, definitely keep that, or shrink wrap, whatever you want to call it. That's canary wood. It's another beautiful wood. And I hope the viewers appreciate that I'm showing these instead of thinking, oh God, he's going to go through a whole bunch of wood. But anyway, that's zebra wood. It's not a very large piece, but it's zebra wood. Because a lot of times what you're buying from Deere 5600 is a lot of wood. Not a lot as in a bunch. Yeah, you're buying a whole set of various woods. So I guess it's either or. This is Red Heart. That's another beautiful wood. It's got tinges. It's red, but it's got tinges of brown in it, and that might be that might be like a Purple Heart when it comes to aging. I don't know. I haven't used enough Red Heart. This is African mahogany. If you look real close, it looks very porous. It's that, or it's just the nature of the look of the wood.
It looks like it would take a stain pretty good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is, I'm trying to read them upside down. Why don't I just look at it? QS Red Oak, quarter sawn red oak. And I love the little streaks in there. These are all things I'm probably going to do my word art stuff on. And some of these I got so many they're not all labeled, so I won't show you everything I got. This is locust. To me, that's kind of a boring looking wood, but that might be because I just got, a small piece. This is an example of how Purple Heart can get brown. But heat, I believe, brings out the purple in Purple Heart.
This stuff all looks like it's planed and sanded really nice.
Yeah, well, some of them are, some of them aren't, but I wouldn't say any of them are of bad quality, but some of it does have some texture, like the one I'm holding happens to be bloodwood. I wish I had a colored true camera or not so much lighting or something, but this is kind of brownish, and I know when I first got it, it was red, so it's probably another one of those that changes.
All those are quarter-inch woods?
They're or thinner. Some of them are 1/8 inch, 16th inch.
Okay.
Yep. I guess. Okay, here's Yellow Heart, and that pretty much speaks for itself. It's a dim yellow, but it's a yellow, just prominent enough.
From him, you said you buy it by the lot. Is it something that he's already thrown together, like a grab bag, or
yeah? Well, it's not so much. It's not so much a grab bag. It's just a. I used the word lot because I couldn't think of the other word. Now I'm dying trying to think of the other word.
Sorry to do that to you, Charles.
No, that's okay. My brain tells me to work out. When they run into each other, they just regroup. What is the word I'm looking for, Donna? Because since you use them, you probably know what I'm talking about.
A group of species.
Yeah, just a selection, so to speak. He'll have
like 3 pieces of Spanish cedar. And it gives you the dimensions of each piece.
Yeah, and you could. I've never tried to custom order from him, but I'm 95% sure he will do custom orders because that would make good business sense. So I'm pretty sure he does that.
Well, I messaged him before looking for specifics, and he's quick to respond whether he's got it or can get it. If you need to do a 12-inch wide piece and he doesn't have it, he'll glue up 2 6 inches and do the panel for you because it's hard to get a 12 or 16-inch wide piece.
Well, that I didn't know he did, and that's good to know because can you imagine doing a portrait out of an exotic wood? That's awesome. We have Paduke here, and see, I know it's my lighting because it looks foggy to me. That's probably nicotine on my camera lens, but that's Paduke. It's a very pretty burnt orange look. Okay, I'm going to run through the rest of these. I got a bunch of African mahogany I've already shown. Bird's eye maple. Let me go ahead and lock the camera on myself. No, screw it. Bird's eye maple, bunch of little bird's eyes in there. Cute little birds. Anyway, that was corny. I'm trying not to get repetitive here. This is just cherry, and I know from hearing from a lot of people, cherry burns easily. This is very thin, so I doubt it would burn much. You've seen walnut. I'm looking for things you don't see all the time. This is another patient that it says Spanish cedar on it, so there's no guesswork there. So yeah, I'm guessing those signs I had is Spanish cedar. And everything else seems to be a repeat of what I've already shown you. Well, okay, here's one more, and then I will set it down. Okay, this is Wenge. I don't know how you say it. W-E-N-G-E.
That's how you say it. That's exactly how you say it.
But
I always thought it was winge. Windy. Okay.
If there's a wrong way to say something, I usually pick it. But that's
a very hard wood.
Yeah, it can, and especially if it's thick. But this is actually 2 pieces. That's how thin they are. And if you want to stack cut crap, so yeah, Wenge is spelled W-E-N-G-E, but it's I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but it's almost perfectly striped. It's not perfect, so it's very linear when it comes to the grain. It's almost completely straight, and it looks gorgeous. But anyway, y'all have that, and again, I hope we just gave Deer 5600 a lot of business between me and Donna talking about it. By God, now we shouldn't have told them, Donna. Now they're going to hog it all, and we're not going to have any.
Well, it depends on what you make, also, because like I say, he doesn't usually do, the wide pieces.
That's true. That's true. It's pretty much probably good for trimming out a project or inlay, or in my case, word art, like the little word art signs, like I did the Spanish cedar where you saw me screw up with a straight blade. I don't remember what kind of wood this is, but I guarantee you somebody looking will know. I'm embarrassed that I don't remember it because I ordered it, but probably maple. I have no idea. So I ordered that at the same time as I did the walnut, and that's why they're both saran wrapped. But anywho, I know this turned into the Deer 5600 show, but that's a good thing. I mean, I hope he gets slammed with business in a good way, because it's quality, it's quick, very quick. Most eBay sellers that have, anytime you buy off of eBay, look at the seller rating.
Yes.
Because some people will take forever to lose something, or they'll send you crappy wood that's already cracked or warped. And there again, wood by nature moves. So not everybody can help that, but the quality guys will throw out the crappy crap and send you the good crap. That was not a good way to put it, Charlie. That's why you don't have sponsors, buddy. They sell good crap, I tell you what. Okay, so now is there anybody in the chat section that has a source they use for wood that they are loyal to?
Haven't seen anything yet.
What are they talking about? Because I know a lot of times they start their own little chat, which is normal.
Some of it's their own little chat.
Yeah, because I tend to cause that when I'm co-hosting Rush's show. We'll be talking about mama's brownies and all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Nobody said anything yet.
Okay, this is another area, and if anybody has any comments on the first materials, the different kinds of woods, feel free to throw them out there. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic. I was not prepared. Again, when you're looking for copyright free, now you can go to Google Images, images.google.com, and look for things, but the search term you put in does not always guarantee. Like if you say copyright free images, not every result that comes up is going to be a copyright free image, but it can be a good source for matter of fact, I'm going to show you another secret of finding, because I've told you all before about when you are looking for when you're going to do your own pattern, you want to do a very, yes, I have a messy desktop. You want to do a very large image, and that's how slow my computer goes. Where am I at? Images. Now let's just type in dog. Now here's how you find your large pictures. You click on tools. After the progress wheel over here goes away, it doesn't react until it's gone. Okay, now you click on tools, go over to size, and I always start out at 4 MP, which is 4 megapixels, I assume. So this is how you can choose the size you go from. So I always start out here and go down from there. So that tells you right now that this picture right here is 5,472 pixels wide. Now it looks tiny there, but you click on view image and watch how big this picture is going to be. See how long it's taken to load? These are the kind. Now this particular picture is blurry by nature because his eyes are far away from the camera. But watch when I zoom in on this nose, you can practically smell what he's smelling. See how big that came out? That's why I like Google Images. But
now, if you were going to scroll that, Charles, how big a picture would that make?
If I went by pixels, I could probably side the house with it. I honestly don't know. I believe there's 72 pixels to an inch to average actual size. But otherwise, I don't know how to answer that question. But that's a way of finding your size. Now, if you wanted one that's smaller, you say, this is your average desktop size, 1024 by 768. Well, they still showed me the big one. I don't know why. Why are they still showing me the... Oh, it's saying larger than. Never mind. Okay. So forget I said that. So now I'm going to type in copyright free, so you can see I've
okay, Charles, we got a couple things in the chat.
All right.
JR Cop 77 wants to know what a good wood for an 8x10 picture frame.
For the frame is pretty much up to your own taste. Oak is very common, but you can stain pretty much anything. I am a terrible person to ask about that, but you can use almost any wood as a frame. It depends on your taste or the potential customer's taste. Y'all have anything to add to that?
Done. I've and completed. I'm not the greatest one on the frames yet, but sometimes I'll try to dress it up a little bit. And when it's stained, then if it's dressed up well, it looks really good.
We got Lee Knighton. We're talking copyright free. Let me in, Charles.
Okay, can somebody send Lee Knighton a link? I'm in the middle of the show, and I'm sorry, Lee, that I didn't get you a link in time. I was jumping through my booty head. That was stupid. Now, this picture right here is from a website called Dreamstime. You can buy these images, but there are. This is an example because I told y'all the search term was copyright free. But if you visit the page,
they want to charge you for it.
Well, they right here, they have the copyright right here. So there is a copyright on it. So I think it depends on how you want to use the picture. Now, as far as making a scroll saw pattern out of it and trying to sell that pattern, you would probably have to contact this person right there. But it was in blue, so that probably means you can contact him. But I bought a temporary, temporary membership to this so that I could get this picture. I still need to contact the guy.
There's a couple people talking about Pixabay.
Pixabay.
Okay. Yeah, there's a few. I believe there's one PEXELS. Pexels or there's quite a few sources. I really should have done more research. But one of the DVD ideas people were giving me was landscapes. So that's why I looked for copyright free landscapes, and I came across this one, and I liked it because it shows trees, grass, and weeds, daisies, and mountains, as well as something to, you know, entertain the eye in the middle of the picture. So I may eventually, if I can get permission, make a pattern out of this picture for right here. So that is how you can find. There's another guy. A lot of my Native American designs were done from, and it truly is copyright free. Edward, but I'm going to verify that. Yes, this guy has a bunch, and y'all might recognize some of these as designs I've done, but they are copyright free. Well, of course, some of them are showing on Pinterest. On Pinterest, it's a gamble. I don't remember the website I found it, but it was an actual library of his. But Edward R. Curtis, I just happen to remember that because I found so many gorgeous pieces of or pictures to work from. It's just beautiful. I mean, not every Indian is beautiful, or Native American, however you want to say it, but the pictures, they are copyright free if you go to the right source. Just look up Edward R. Curtis and do your research to find the copyright free ones. But I'm pretty sure those are the same pictures I'm seeing as when I did my search. But I just don't know what to look under right this second because I'm on the spot. But yes, there are copyright free pictures out there, and this is how 95% of my Native American designs came from this guy's photographs. So that's that. So let me stop screen sharing. And whenever Lee Nyden gets in, he is in.
He's here.
Hey. Lee Nyden, you wanted to talk about copyright free images, sir.
Hey, give me one moment, Charles, because this isn't cooperating with me at the moment.
All right, Lee, by the way, is in Ohio. He's one half of Scroller's Choice magazine.
Ah, there we are.
There he is.
All right, now I can see you guys. Good evening.
Good evening, security.
Sorry I'm late. Yeah, Charles, if you want to check out Pixabay, I like using that one because it actually lists the licensing right underneath the picture, and it tells you whether you can use it as a commercial, non-commercial, whether you have to give credit or not give credit, and most of them you don't even have to give credit at all.
And I believe Dreams Time is also the same way. But I was going to ask you something, Lee, and I don't remember what the heck it was. We got to pause the show while I think. I'm kidding. Well, while you're there, do you want to tell everybody where you're from and tell them about Scroller's Choice magazine?
Sure. As Charles mentioned, I'm in Ohio, just outside of Akron, and I run Scroller's Choice magazine. We have.
Is there anything you haven't dropped? I'm just kidding.
Nope, I was just getting the right magazine. See, here it is. All right. Wanted to make sure I got the right one. Okay. All right. So anyway, now that Charles sidetracked me, yeah, you can go to our website, which is on the back of our magazines. I'll show you in a minute. You can get the print version there, PDF version there. We have a yearly PDF from last year, a yearly PDF subscription for this year, and then we have the yearly print subscription for this year and last year as well, that you can buy through the website. And if you guys want to check out the website, the link is right down here. It's www.scrollers and my camera first. Scrollers Choice mag.wix.com/home.
Yeah, so if you're watching the video like 3 months later, just pause it right now and you can see what's there. Because on my screen it's frozen anyway, which kind of worked out. Thank you very much, Lee. And I apologize for not getting you on the panel center. I really intended on it. I can't think of what the heck I was going to say because that's how I roll. And Lee, if you don't mind keeping yourself muted because of the occasional noise. What was I talking about?
I don't know. We're kind of winding it down.
Yes, wow, I'll be dang, I filled up a whole show.
Sure did.
Holy
Not
monkey.
much left to do but sing us out of here.
Oh, sorry. I really got to work on a song. Well, it's hard to top Russ. I mean, because he's got his memorized. I'd have to make one up and memorize it and then not make a fool out of myself.
Just give me sawdust.
Hey. That's sacrilege on this show, by God. It's okay, Lee.
Don't call me Lee.
I was talking to Lee because he typed something. Anywho, yeah. So I hope y'all were looking at each other's comments and questions in the chat, because I know for a fact that when we have these live shows and there's people in the outside chat on the YouTube watch page, that they're helping each other, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the people watching. I appreciate Donna Presley. I appreciate Lee Nyden, and he's been here the whole time. He's just hiding real good. We got Paul Corliss, we got Russ Meadows, and we got that weird dude, man. He's wanted right there. I'll tell you what. As with any show, us being on the panel does not mean we're the experts. They just happen to jump on the panel. Feel free on any show to ask any question regarding scrolling, even if it's not the topic we're discussing on the show. And I will try to come up with something by next week, but it sure as heck will not be me using a flat blade. So, without further ado, I'm not going to sing us out. I'm just going to say scroll on.
That's